Hey everyone, welcome back to One Track Mind Coasters. Today we are going to be doing best coaster by each manufacturer. Manufacturers such as RMC, B&M, Intamin, Vekoma, Zier, and some others. But now we will be getting into our first manufacturer, and that will be coming up first is a very common manufacturer, B&M, and my favorite coaster from them will be Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This one was not a hard choice for me, as this is my favorite B&M hyper coaster. Hyper coaster meaning coaster in between 200 and 299 feet, and this is the hyper coaster of theirs is my favorite model. I do take this over Candymonium and some other coasters mainly, so that is why I take this as my favorite B&M. It also has a very long layout, and all of the airtime hills actually deliver. Next up on our list is PTC, or Philadelphia Toboggan Company. And my favorite coaster is Phoenix at Knoebels. Phoenix actually existed since 1945, I believe, at Playland Park in Texas, and the ride used to be Rocket. It was built by PTC, and then it was relocated up here once the park closed in 1985, which is when it opened as Phoenix. And Din Corporation also helped with this, but that's a little bit of history. Main reason as to why this ride is so good is because this ride delivers every single hill. You'll have floater towards the beginning and ejector towards the end. And also, I would ride towards the very back if possible, because in the very back you will fly out of your seat on the drops and during the airtime hills, which is why this is my favorite coaster by PTC. Next up on my list is Great Coaster International, aka GCI, and it wasn't until this year where I rode their very best coaster. And their best coaster I've ridden is Thunderhead at Dollywood. This ride is very, very good. It delivers every single hill. Mainly towards the end, you actually get some solid flow ejector. And this ride flies through the layout. I would ride this towards the back if possible. Not only does this ride have very good pacing, the ride is actually pretty smooth. It got a recent retrack, so it's gonna ride very good. And this is their Dollywood's second best coaster. Very fun. I definitely recommend riding. Do not skip on this. Next up is Vekoma, and their best coaster I've only actually ridden pretty recently, last month. So flash vertical velocity starts crawling forward up the stall, then backwards up the first spike, then over the first stall again, completely, giving you around 7 seconds of hang time. Then you go up through the double up, and you actually get some solid flow ejector off of the first hill, and then the second hill you actually kind of do fly out of your seat a little bit, more floater, and then after that you go down this non-inverting dive, and then you go through a 0G roll, go up the spike, and then backwards again. Now, this ride only opened this year, but it was a solid new ride, and I absolutely loved how smooth it was. Plus, the restraints were pretty good too. Next company I will be doing is Zier, and my favorite coaster from them is actually Family Coaster. My favorite coaster from them is called Verbolten at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This coaster, you go through the first launch into this shed, which is themed to the forest. There actually is, if you want me to spoil it, I will, but skip over this if you don't want me to. there's a drop track element. And then after that, you go through the second launch up to this hill, and then you go through the reason why I like this coaster, though, is because the restraints are very comfortable. There's not that much on you. And also, the ride runs very smooth. Plus, I really gotta commend them on their theming. Their theming with this ride was outstanding when I rode it. Next company I'll be looking at is Aerodynamic. And my favorite ride from them is Tennessee Tornado at Dollywood. This ride, it is pretty short. All it really has is a drop. Then these two inversions, as you could see in this picture. And then it just has a turn into the brake run. Really isn't that much. But it was pretty forceful and I enjoyed it. It is one of two Aero loopers I've ridden, other one being Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, but I prefer this one. This one was way more intense and I liked it more. Next company I have up is Gerstlauer, and my favorite ride from them is a pretty interesting. Now I know this ride is not everyone's favorite, but I actually like this one a lot. It is very underrated. It is Mystery Mine at Dollywood. Mystery Mine has really, really cool theming. The theming is really good, and some people say it's rough, although I actually didn't find it to be too bad. I found Tennessee Tornado actually to be a little bit rougher, but this ride has a fire element with a beyond vertical drop. This was awesome. The ride itself was okay, but the theming made this ride really shoot up in my rankings at Dollywood. I really like it. Last two manufacturers I'll be covering. This one is my favorite coaster from them is El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This is my second favorite coaster overall, and it's also my favorite wooden coaster. Now this ride has a very, very forceful first drop in the back row. You will get flown out of your seat. Solid ejector. Same goes for the two Camelback hills. You actually stay out of your seat for close to 5 seconds. And then the rest of the ride is actually very intense. I do like the layout of this one a lot. And this one, well, not flies, but towards the end of the ride, it does kind of lose its speed. That's like the only thing I have against this ride. But this ride delivers with airtime a lot. So, if you ever go to Great Adventure, ride close to the back as you possibly can for the best overall experience on this ride. Last coaster manufacturer for this video will be covering is RMC, and my favorite ride from them is Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park. This ride is my favorite coaster overall, and it's not even close. The airtime is completely relentless on this. At least 8 moments. Even after the first drop, you have already flown out of your seat. This ride also has 4 inversions. The 0G stall, you actually get some solid hang time, but you dangle. You don't actually hang out of your seat. Plus, this ride is also occasionally running with 3 trains and its locker policy along with its load and unload station, which But yeah, that just about does it for this video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, turn notification on so you don't miss an upload. I will be trying to stay in track with these as the coaster season starts dying down for the winter, so stay tuned and I'll see you later.